fire and kill it, if at all possible. And Valentine going, oh my god, the hero we need. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 here bringing you another COH2 replay. This is a 3v3 on Fields of Winanook. Who do we have here today? Well, we got Philip, Intercers, and 7 versus Blue, because I have no idea who that is. I do know who that is, that bitch Carol Baskins, goddamn. And Mitherin Ardane. Anyway, like I said, this is a 3v3. We got 3 OKW, 2 American, and 1 Brit. Oh boy. If you would like to submit your own replay like one of those gentlemen just did, I'll tell you who at the end. You can submit to greyshotproductions@gmail.com or join my Discord or Patreon down below. And you'll have access to early access content with, you know, not having to have severe issues with computer and or on a trip. Yeah, that was a whole ordeal. But anyway, back now, getting replays done, and hopefully you all are enjoying these. But in any case, let's get to it, shall we? Wow. Okay, so we got special operations, we got breakthrough, so we have a good assortment and fortifications. So essentially, you got your base OKW commanders down, or so, because again, you got long range, you got defensive play, and you got your support. So honestly, a really good mix. Then we got ourselves mechanized, but pretty good. 7 bringing out the artillery support, and then we also have more artillery support. Oh boy. Now the question is for the American. Oh, yep, we got a Jeep. Oh my god, Jeep versus Kubel. Fortunately, that one doesn't have 50 cal yet, so they have to rely on the rifleman in the back. That's fine. He knows exactly what he's doing, I think. Point of the matter is he's popping shots, let's say, far away from the Panzerfußleer squad, but hopefully that allows some other infantry to come on in. I don't see any infantry, so he's just going to hightail it out of there. Meanwhile, Germans will hold this area pretty well. Fighting position could fire some rifle grenades as well with the echelon inside. But yeah, he's trying to figure out what to do. Trying to heal on the front, that's really risky. Rifleman moving on in. No real cover to be at. Kubel going in behind, fires rifle grenade at that direction. I don't know why you fire from a moving vehicle and not the infantry closest, but whatever. Kubel going in for the decap of the territory, which would cut off a huge portion of the map, which would be a nice big thing. That's what Blue is doing with his Storm Pioneers as well. So good cutoff attempt, and Rifleman taking a lot of damage as they could move up and get in the cover, but they're not doing that. Universal Carrier coming in, British support, trying to relieve the area, and yeah, it seems like that exactly what's going to happen. Universal Carrier now opening fire on the stern. British infantry as well putting shots on the stern. That thing might die if it's not careful. Luckily, actually, the Kubel just perished. Stern Pioneer losing one additional model, although it looks like he should be able to escape. Universal Carrier doesn't have any upgrades just yet, as the next platoon base has not been made. Stern Pioneer, oh, entirely Stern Pioneer. So yeah, he's really focusing on that stern blob, most likely for fortifications and easier deployment of said fortifications, because, you know, you can make them quicker. Looks like they did kill the military trucks. That's a nice win there, but Volk squad did have to pull back. I don't see any Panzerfußleers or anything on the front, so echelons. By the way, Vengeance 2 got 7 kills. Goddamn. Wait, did he kill? No, he didn't kill any of... Well, he might have fired a rifle grenade and, you know, exploded them, but he didn't wipe any squads from what I can tell. But anyway, we got Captain moving on in. Okay, not a bad choice. Oh, Cavalry Rifleman. There we go. That's some close range firepower that they probably need. Infantry in the building, but it's only 2 models, so it'll be less effective. Universal Carrier backing on in. I'm actually unsure why. Oh, he's maybe trying to recap that point and make sure that whatever was there got pushed back. Unsure, but German forces under Carol Baskin. Oh, God. All right, sure. Why not? Carol Baskin launching an assault and managing to help out Blue over here take the point. Oh, God. I'm going to be like a Tucker scenario, red versus blue. What color is that? Is that blue? No, I'm a... Oh, and then like he keeps changing his color every single goddamn time. Anyway, Rifleman opening fire, trying to stop this mine, which, again, defeats the purpose if the enemy knows there's a mine there. So, yeah, unsure about that. But I will say is Universal Carrier, though, putting up a Vickers machine gun, shredding that Stern Pioneer squad, making it pay for what it has done. Vickers as well suppressing. Let's see over here. We got Mitherin in behind some good cover, but American forces coming on in, upgraded with a bar. They will do what they can behind cover. But note, there's a lot of American forces, and they will definitely need some support. Luckily, Sturms and Volk squads coming on in, and without any grenades, the Americans will slowly be out DPS. Stun grenade, I mean, keeps him in place, but didn't do too much damage. It'll just allow them to push back the cavalry. Now he's advancing. That's a bad move, and actually that reposition cost him a model. Incendiary will push him out of the logs as cover, and the Americans will be forced to retreat, while the Germans, aka Milam, holds the sector pretty damn well. Now Carol Baskin, doing what I keep saying he. I'm just gonna say she is gonna do, because goddamn, that's gonna throw me through a loop. Yeah, we're doing what she's doing on the left. Anyway, MG getting in the building. It's MG34. He'll do some work, but British are still advancing. 5-man squads, by the way. Looks like a Panzerfaust pushed back the Universal Carrier, but they're still trying to do what they can. MG suppressing that. Storm Pioneers going in on the Rifleman. MG as well being suppressed. Storm Pioneers for AT purposes on standby. Volk squad's very low on health, sending... looks like Carol Baskin's in charge of some poorly... watched over units, not really taking care of I guess some prize units over here. Definitely gonna need some medical attention stat. Meanwhile, we got some Volk squads and Panzerfaust still holding back Intercers and doing a pretty good job getting some upgrades, but even with just one unit just getting an upgrade, just the sheer firepower is enough to keep them at bay, which is good. I think it's doing a pretty good job, at least keeping them back, allowing them to capture the point, even if it's not connected. That's the thing. They need to capture this point, which I'm actually surprised they don't move over to, but I think that's what they're going to do. Any AT guns? Yes, you just got an AT gun, most likely to deal with that fighting position, which another one oh, sorry. Looks like we got Philip making his own fighting position. He's also pumping out a lot of riflemen. Is he getting upgrades? He has grenades, but no additional upgrades. Okay, rough grenade being fired over here. It actually does a little bit to the unit, not too shabby. Anyway, Universal Carrier with a Royal Engineer with Minesweepers just in case, because we already seen them start to place mines in this region. Anyway, the problem with the Vickers upgrade is, well, units and buildings are a little bit tough to crack. Luckily, that man was drunk and missed a non-moving target with a Panzerschreck. So, fantastic work there, just on point. But anyway, the point I'm trying to bring up is that the Universal... Oh, missing again? I was going to say Universal Carrier is probably going to be pushed back. Missing again! How many times are you going to miss with a Panzerschreck? Oh my god. 3 times! 3 times he missed. Or they missed, I should say. Wait, support gun not missing. Great shot on target, bringing the health down and killing a model. Universal Carrier coming back in. I don't even see why he has to worry about with these guys. He's doing, like, they keep missing so much. It, like, literally can go right up on them. Luckily, Carol Baskin's not going to miss, hopefully, with the Panzerfaust. Will fire it. Gets a good shot on target, but the Universal Carrier is still trying to put shots on the Volk. Although the Volk's about to be swarmed by a bunch of British infantry section. Do they have grenades? I know the Americans do, but they do not. Wow, Veteran C1 with 1 kill. You've done a lot of good work. Anyway, hopefully they can continue to put pressure on Carol Baskin and liberate this sector on the left. Meanwhile, Philip and Intercers are doing what they can in mid. We have an AC about to deploy. We have a half-track on the American side being developed and on the field. Half-track as well, AC... And the Germans are just lacking a lot of fuel, which is kind of... I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird because they've had this fuel point for a pretty long time. Enough for them to upgrade and build this base and also building this. So they're really making sure this position is under their control. Mitherin has his work cut out because, again, Intersearch is just putting a ton of pressure on him. And he has to deliver because, well, right now the Americans lock down mid. So that means this right position is the only VP that hasn't been thoroughly locked down, but Intersurce's blob is going to change that. Cavalry riflemen will keep armor at bay, while the riflemen keep infantry as well at bay. I mean, the cavalry as well have the, Thompsons, so they'll do work, but just in general, it's one of those positions where it's like, okay, you definitely don't want to watch out for this guy at close and afar, especially with vehicles. Now, Storm Pioneers as well upgrade with all Panzerschrecks. That's fine and dandy, but when you're fighting infantry, Panzerschrecks don't how do I say this nicely? They're not going to do the work that a BAR or an LMG or something like that would really do. AC coming on in. God knows why he's moving it up, because this guy is all AT. This would be a bad sign. He has double support gun, though, so he's hiding behind his ally and his defensive fortifications, and is just using support guns to whittle down the British. The British could build a mortar pit, though, against support guns. Could definitely outrange it and definitely do a lot of damage to it. Though I think 7 has a counter to these support guns, and that would be the concentration barrage. We could call in over here, and yeah, that would be pretty devastating, specifically if you can get the company command post. Meanwhile, we got a big old blob over here. Wow, okay, nice shot. Half-track and mortar half-track pushed back a little bit from the AT gun, though mortar is definitely, still firing. Cache has been placed, so again, try to lock down that territory to stop any additional decaps. American forces doing what they can, but remember, the retreat path is going to be a bit different. They have to retreat all the way around, which is going to put them in sights of the German forces, so hopefully they can really take advantage of that. AT moving up against the half-track. Mortar fire coming down on the Sturm officer. Still doing what they can. Panzerfußleger is putting a lot of good shots. This unit is very low. They might get the kill here. I think they will, if the Volk squads can finish it, and they do. Half-track as well got pushed back, so no support there. Riflemen retreating early. Good idea. You want to make sure they get on one piece. And yeah, good job of Mithrin retaking this sector. Meanwhile, on the left, god damn it, Carol Baskin's doing what she can, along with Blue. But yeah, the blob of this is chasing the infantry, which good luck. It should probably have headed right and chased down the armor, maybe? That's just me. But whatever the case may be, you got Carol Baskin bringing up the Obel Sudan with SCG-44, so, pretty good infantry, all things considered, moving on in, and they'll deal with infantry long range. Or really any range, to be fair. Unfortunately, you have to worry about the Vickers and a Valentine tank on the field. So that's a problem. AC as well is back up. So with both these light vehicles, I'm going to make the assumption that Carol Baskin is going to die multiple times, like lose multiple models in this. Especially, I like the Valentine backing on up. But as we can see here, it's almost done. They don't have Panzerfaust or anything. So, rush in, try to, I would say go around them. So that way it makes it harder for them to shoot and fire. Now, hopefully, we got Philip and, the rest of the allies can kill these guys on the retreat. That would be kind of a big deal if they could. They're retreating. They're under fire. They're running into some dead Germans. They're very low on health, all things considered. One model apiece. They might lose one of these very expensive squads. If they kill both, that would be so helpful. But this Obel Sudan squad will not die under any circumstance. He's going to turn the corner. Valentine tank trying to kill target. I don't see any AT coming on in at this moment. God, he still isn't dead. He still is not dead. Run! That entire journey, this German squad made it. Good job. Anyway, armored car died, most likely from a mine in AT. Oh, I'm sorry, not mine. The most likely from the mass amount of Sturm Pioneers. Good grenade, by the way, kills multiple models and forces them back. So great work there. Anyway, additional caches going on down. So Intersurf is really trying to lock down this region. Again, that's a decent amount of American infantry, though I think he needs a bit more, especially against Mithrin, who I'm assuming still has a very good fighting force, and that's absolutely the case. Double Panzerfußleger, both upgrades, plus Sturm Officer. Yeah, these guys at close range are going to have a real big issue against these guys at longer ranges. If they can hide behind the building, they'll kind of cut that range difference by a wide margin and maybe can close the gap, especially because that would provide them some good cover. But again, you could always use other environments, and again, luckily Mithrin he's coming along the side, and also probably going for the heavy cover, which, yep, the Intersurf is using, charging on in. Remember, no grenades are available, but these guys do have it, and with those grenades, the Panzerfußleger will hold the territory and grab the VP, which is stopping the bleed for the Germans, which are down a healthy amount of points. Not a lot, but a good amount, I would say. Support guns opening fire on the Brits, which is probably going to be the biggest concern, is this concentration of support weaponry that is just harassing them. Now we have a Panther being developed by Carol Baskins. Oh god, a Panther. I thought it was only Tigers. Anyway, hopefully not in captivity for too long. Because, she's crazy. And possibly, allegedly possibly killed someone. Who knows? But anyway, American force throwing a grenade right on the blob. Great hit. A lot of health damage and also reducing not only down to 2 models, but a lot more health damage. So great job right there. And the American forces pushed back. Obelstodon and Panther being developed. Let's see. Yep, Obelstodon are back up and moving to the front. Wonder half-track doing what they can, but the Obelstodon go right for the British in this occasion. Valentine tank is there, but it needs repairs. The British doing what they can. They do manage to push back those 2 Sturms. I think they got a kill. No, they did. Oh, no, they killed both support guns. Where the hell were they? Why on earth are the support guns up here? I don't understand. But, hey, Brits, you got 2 free support guns. Take it. Because that's a nice little win right there, to be all things considered. Panzer Fusiliers pulling on back. Volk squads, still doing relatively okay. Yeah, American forces definitely driving them back. Half-track undergoing some repairs and gone, a couple kills. At least Mithrin has a good defensive force and getting a Panzer IV. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of Axis armor being developed and deployed right now. Hopefully that's enough to turn the tide. That being said, the Americans are deploying like a Sherman with the 76mm weapon. Valentine's tank is still decent, but it looks like he might be saving up for a... Oh wait, he hasn't even upgraded yet. Well, I mean, that makes sense. He got the Valentine tank, so that's going to delay his additional armor. Multiple mortar half-tracks are going to be an issue because, well, that delayed getting additional armor plus some mortar carriage. And while we do have an AT gun, that's great. This Panther does not seem to care and is right now just blasting through a lot of the defensive works that the Allies have made. Speaking of which, Valentine and 6-pounder are kind of in position. Valentine bounces. Panzer IV does not seem to care. AT grenade fired a little early. Again, you should wait for at least some damage so you can stun it. That way you can absolutely kill it. Valentine tank does pen and actually get rear armor. Panzer IV moving back into Axis controlled territory for a decent escape. A Volk squad could Panzerfaust, although it looks like Valentine may... Nope. Come on, Valentine, back up or focus fire. No, he focused on this. Up to Verity 2. Down the 1 model. Come on, Valentine, you can finish him off. Nope. Another Volk squad coming on in. Okay, how's the Panther doing? Panther's doing quite well. Took a few hits, but overall got a number of kills, including killing the fighting position. Good work there. Sherman's on the field, though, and it can definitely cause some havoc for the Panther, with it, especially if he uses some higher penetrating rounds from a distance. So that being said, the fire rate's an issue, but as long as you keep a distance and can keep it within your sight, I think you're doing pretty well, all things considered. But anyway, so let's see. AT gun needs some heals. Hopefully, is there a position here for healing? No, there is not. So that could be a concern. Meanwhile, we got Mithrin with his Panzer IV. Looks like he's keeping himself a little bit back, away from... I swear to God, don't... Okay, thank you. Please don't get too close after I just said that. But yeah, he got... that could have been bad for him, but luckily, he either did it as a feint or as bait. But whatever the point may be, he brought the Allies in, so Intersurse will try to get a little closer. Nice shot with the AT gun hitting the back of the Sherman. A lot of the infantry is being suppressed by the fighting position. But the Sherman, well, if it focuses on the armor, that could be a huge ordeal for the Panzer IV. But they kill the fighting position, which should unsuppress the infantry and allow them to advance. Cavalry charging on in, a bit too close for comfort. They will throw an AT satchel, and the Sherman will go in, probably for the kill. Never mind, he bounces. Oh, boy. Which is actually, I think, quite funny, because I think he has the higher penetrating rounds. Oh, my God. All right. One more shot. That being said, it looks like a lot of infantry coming on in. Does the smart move? Backs on up. I'm assuming he's trying to weaken the infantry down with the half-track. It's not like the Panzer IV can come in quickly with the damage engine. The half-track can pretty much be relatively fine. Even if he takes a shot, he can't be chased down. It looks like, yeah, he's causing a ton of suppression, forcing them back, which should allow the Sherman to move on in. Luckily, he realizes the situation. Mithrin is going to try to pull back. Meanwhile, we have a Panzer IV running behind enemy lines, killing the half-track, which, again, I feel like Philip is way too support-oriented in this format. I think he needs some better armor, some definitely frontline forces. Sherman, though, looks like took a couple hits from something, either the Panzer IV AT, I'm assuming AT, and dropping smoke to get the hell out of there. Good use of smoke. Can he direct fire, though? And it looks like that will not be the case. Panzer IV leaving at the wrong time. Could have killed the Sherman. Just a second earlier, and he could have gotten it. But alas, better to get out of A-OK. Although AT gun and half-track are going to, do what they can. Charging the AT gun, not a good idea. And the Panzer IV dies while the half-track makes a valiant defense. So really good job there by that crew at holding the line. So really great work. And that's going to be critical because that's one major armor piece down, specifically for Blue. Now, he is building howitzers, so I don't think he's crying that much over it. But that being said, his army is significantly weakened because he doesn't have a frontline force. I would not counter these servers as frontline. So essentially, his army is all defense. And it's like we just saw, it's not like the allies don't have an artillery unit. 7 does, and as well, Philip does. So, 7's been doing a pretty good job at, blasting them, and that's what he's using. The Sexton do currently blast. Unfortunately, though, luckily, Carol Baskin has a Panther that she's able to use, and the mortar carriage from Philip, not as effective as he might have liked. Nice job neutralizing the Panther. Hopefully, an AT grenade pins it. Yes, it does. Now they just need to focus, fire, and kill it, if at all possible. And Valentine going, oh my god, the hero we need. Valentine going on in, zeroing dropped. A lot of allied forces still there. They will need to escape. But Valentine trying to block it, using its speed to get around the Panther's turret. And as you can see, it's turning incredibly slow. Valentine doing what it can. Also, Don was there. That's weird. God damn, the Valentine that could. Super close, but Panther might finish it. No, he's not. One last shot. It bounces. Panther, all he needs is to hit. And he got it. Valentine did it what he could. The Krillin of this game. Giving it all, but unfortunately, even with a good fight, still not taking a win. Alas. While zeroing currently blasts the allies to Kingdom Come and forces them to retreat, causing heavy casualties. Allies in general down to like low 50s, while Axis are currently in the probably mid 60s overall. But yeah, still, it's pretty damn close. But we can see some major movements going along. Panzer IV pushed up, neutralized the AT gun, although, and also killing the cache, which will cut off a lot of territory. AT gun moving on in to capture the fuel. So really, a lot of good wins by the Axis in this stretch. Again, I just questioned the tanks. If Philip would have had a Jackson or a Sherman or something like that, I feel like it would have been a lot better. Because that way you can bring up that sheer firepower that can actually, hold back a Panther and keep it at bay. Also, Don is well charging. Again, I'll give Carol Baskin this. At least she's able to bring up a good amount of, heavy infantry. Unfortunately, it looks like some grenades might cause some damage, a little bit of health damage. And we saw here that they were punished earlier. Hopefully that can happen again. Is it about the storm outside? Yes, it does. Oh, God. That's reassuring. Double Sherman's coming on in, but one of them has this specific round, the load 8 HVAP rounds, which the reason I bring it up is going to be less effective against, well, infantry. So, yeah. Great job there. You can see both shots and how their damage is slightly different. But yeah, driving him back. Artillery still firing. Oh my god, they have 3 now. Blue just loves to be fortification heavy. And yeah, the Artie is raining fire down. Right down on Philip, my god. Coming back to bite him a little bit, losing a ton of his army that he spent so much time building up. He's lost his half-tracks, he's lost quite a bit. The British, though, do have a sextant that can return fire, and it looks like it did bring one of them down to very low health, though it does have at least 10 kills, so it still needs to worry. Nice arty shell does hurt a lot of the American forces. They're still being pounded. The British base under fire, American base under fire, and yeah, Philip's going to have to use his very few reserves to try to get that operational. Meanwhile, double Shermans are advancing. Panzer Fusiliers and Panzer IV doing what they can, but nice hit with the other Panzer IV on the side. Again, trying to get a rear armor shot and do even more damage. Unfortunately, it does miss target, although it is better than C2, so it can take a beating. Let's see. Infantry is well pulling on back while some reserves come on in. We got a push on left with a Panther and a Command Panther. AT grenades being thrown, but again, not enough damage to crit the armor. That's, man, the Allies having a rough time with all that armor, or the Panthers in general. Now we have them focusing on the Jackson, of all things. And yeah, Jackson, unfortunately, can go toe-to-toe at range, but not close up. And man, good hang time, by the way. Panthers pulling on back, good use. And yeah, this is where I see the Allies just starting to fall apart. It's just unfortunately, one of their players, in Intersource has it, but 7 and Philip are just lacking that damage. And it's not like the Brits, oh god, are the ones that unfortunately are like, oh, why is the Brits not having any sort of AT? Well, they did. They just got decrewed over here. All the support guns got decreed. But yeah, it was, if they would have had the ability to press against this guy before he just started building artillery spam, and by God. Well, somebody wanted artillery spam, right? That's I heard somebody wanted RD spam. Well, congratulations, you got it. But yeah, just one of those things. Sherman's trying to do what they can, because this is the last front the Allies can currently really do well in, and that seems to be actually playing out pretty well. We do have something coming on in. I'm assuming a breakthrough, maybe? No, it's not breakthrough. Damn, what is it? Oh, major. Major's being called in, right? Yep, it's major artillery. Okay, they'll drive the Axis back, and yeah, it did. Both Panzer IVs retreated, although they didn't really take that much damage overall. The Shermans, same thing, not too much damage, but at least they have the fuel, and at least they can try to grab the VP, which will slow the bleed. Hopefully allow time for Philip and 7 to reorganize. And that seems to be working. We have blue coming on in. Nice, right? Oh my God, yes, kill him. Super close on both. But at the very least, they did take a lot of damage with manpower, though. Blue's just pumping out the arty because goddamn loves arty. And that's just leaving the attacking to Carol Baskin, and well, Carol Baskin's having a good time, though. Pretty good grenade wipes down the health on both. Is that another zeroing, really? Zeroing is now being called in. All right, I mean, they are getting 58 munitions per turn. American forces will need to retreat immediately. Good kill on the Obel Sedan, though. Doesn't matter if you lose all your men. And yeah, you're going to need to retreat, man. Zeroing is in play, and you're not moving your men. Questioning. So much questioning going on here. Sorry, is this, yeah, 6-pounder opening fire on the Panther, pushing them into the zeroing. At the very least, they try to get some men out, but I'm assuming Philip definitely lost quite a bit. Yeah, lost a number. Luckily, should be able to get a Jackson pretty soon. We now have 3 Shermans, by the way, one of which is a base, but with a bulldozer attachment to allow for, you know, more damage to be done to it. We have a priest on the field. Hey, buddy, how are you holding up to that artillery? Man, that sucks. Okay, question. I know you're really having a hard time with artillery, and by God, I can only imagine the current frustration on the Allies to just have this raining down, especially if it's killing your buildings like bunkers and everything else, and ambulances and all that stuff. But one thing to just take note of, just a small factor. Your artillery's out here, right? Cool. What's stopping the Panthers from just rolling up? I mean, also, another small thing. You have a major, right? Why don't you have the guy with artillery blast them with artillery? It's one of those weird things where it's like, you guys know you need a sight from a, I don't know, a major. Especially with, you know, Veteran C1, you get improved flight so you can see them, and you do a concentration barrage to utterly destroy them. That way you can stop it. It's you have the means, you have the weapons. Luckily, your ally over here, Intercers, has enough firepower to at least keep these Panthers at bay. Well, okay, not with 3. 3 is a little bit of a stretch. Especially if these Panzer IVs move in with additional Panther support. Then you're looking at a really bad scenario. All things considered, but it could be worse. Could be worse. Anyway, I'm assuming a Vet 3 Major's here somewhere. Yep, it's over here. And he put his retreat position down. I'm assuming, like, just get away from the RD that's blasting him to smithereens. Sure, why not? Yeah, so at least good work there. Well, we still got, oh God, cavalry's right there. Come on, throw the satchel. Yes, okay, this is a good news. This could be good news for the Allies. Satchel going off. Panther, oh, absolutely, AT grenaded. Both of them down. If they can neutralize both Panthers, this is a nice win. They take out one set and the other. Half-track retreating. One Panther down. Unfortunately, Sturm's coming on in. Grenade would be fantastic there, Philip. We have one. Oh, great shot. We know from experience he does like to retreat. Come on. There we go. Mass retreat. All 3 Shermans are alive, with the main one up front, the one that can take the most heat. Unfortunately, though, we still have this other Panther, still alive. And as well, we still got the Panzer IVs. Even though they took damage, still relatively alive. Plus, we have all this infantry now moving through from Mithrin, just capturing territory. So, definitely a cause for concern. We do have our artillery coverage in effect. So, perimeter overwatch, which will try to help out. But at the very least, good kill on one of the Panthers. And it looks like all the Shermans are currently under repairs. So, yeah. Right now, the Americans are going to have to come in to save this. Unfortunately, artillery support's failing. Heavily failing. Again, like I said before, what's stopping a charge from coming on in? Luckily, all the Shermans are going to be like, oh, cool, free kill, and just turn on this Panther. And there's nothing to protect it. All these almost Adon have no AT, so yeah, they quickly knock out another Panther. Now, to be fair, the Axis, it's not like they're lacking armor, but if they keep just sending them in piecemeal, eventually, even with only 3 Shermans, he will start gaining supremacy. Especially if he starts killing a lot of the infantry. Though, again, it's time that will be really against him. If he can't start taking territory and killing all these forces, then it won't matter. Intercurs, by the way, has a decent amount under his command, so hopefully that will allow him to change things. 7's doing okay with his infantry, though. Again, I 100% do not understand his playstyle. You activate this, but you do not activate a concentration barrage over both. Someone might say, well, Greyshot, there's no guarantee it'll kill it, like a Stuka bomb. Yes, you're 100% right. There's no guarantee. But at the very least, if it decrews it, there goes counter barrage. There goes our artillery support. There goes it that stops the barrage. So at the very least, I say it's worth it. Now, Intercurs as well is getting another Sherman. Meanwhile, we have ourselves Mitherin with double Panzer IVs and a Panther. I think he's the most competent player on the Axis team, at least with his overall units, and I think it's going to be up to him to really attack and take out those Shermans with a full force. Shermans are currently battling a Panther in mid. They're advancing, but Mitherin as well is moving on in on the flank of the Shermans. Now he's pushing on in. Shermans quickly react though and are now focusing on the armor. Infantry moving on in. I'm assuming they throw AT satchels, but alas, not enough. He immediately dies. Sherman dying in the distance from a great shot. Panther now moving back in. This may have been overextension. Unfortunately, lack of infantry with some cavalry support, it may cost him. Looks like cavalry could be thrown here or fired. 3 armored vehicles still alive while the American force is taking heavy hits. Cavalry does hit. Kills a Vet 3. Oh my god, both 76s are down, and the Panther is still alive. Again, this one player, where the fuck is Philip and 7? Oh right, they're continuing their artillery support and getting guys with bazooka teams. My god, okay. I understand your frustration with this, but once again, I say this is 100%, okay, good job. They at least sacrificed the unit and got that. He did lose the cavalry, but at least he killed it. This guy is just moving on in now against his artillery. He's like, I will kill them. And unfortunately, the last act of the Sherman is going to be unfortunate because Stern Pioneers are firing shots. Luckily missing, good job. The Stern Pioneer aim is true. They decrew 1. And the Panther headquarters, along with the Panther, do enough damage to kill it. Good. Yeah, just one of those situations. Great shot across the board. Unfortunately, though, the Americans are now down a huge portion of their armor. Intercurs is now down to a fresh recruit Sherman without any upgrades rather than anything else. And we have 3 pieces of artillery. My god. Okay. And meanwhile, the armor is going to move on in. Oh my god. Vet 3 half-track. Doing a lot of good work. Vet 4, Panzer 4. Nothing to sneeze at right there. Although Sherman's moving in on it. And artillery now is coming on in. Like, what do you expect to do? Like, seriously. I mean, like, great job with the priest hitting it, but... Oh, and 6-pounder. Okay. You know what? That actually worked. I'll give you credit. Because I was like, what are you going to do against it? But yeah, great job with the armor. And again, I feel like this is a great time where it's like you need both the armor and also you need artillery. And I feel like these guys didn't put too much commitment in artillery. I think they needed additional AT support and or mines to guard their flanks a little bit better. Something, because the armor dives were just too severe on the allied armies to have them really stay in the game. Plus, they didn't remove the artillery threat. Like, again, you still have concentration barrage. You can use that to try to weaken them, and they are grouped up. By God, I love this. I love how the arty is now, like, Carol Baskin has taken that. Luckily, the priests and stuff like that are causing damage to weaken this, but I have a feeling as soon as they, well, fire enough times, the armor is going to be coming on in. And sure enough, here comes more of Mithrin's forces with all of them grouped up. The Sherman's trying to hold back one Vet 4, Panzer 4, and doing a decent job. But, yeah, the Panzer 4 is coming on in. Luckily, the AT guns by 7 are at least enough to keep the armor at bay. So that's something, but a lot of the shots are bouncing. Sherman advancing. Unfortunately, the Panzer 4 and Panther are going to make quick work of it. 20 kills on that Panzer 4, by the way. 21. Really good shots all around. And, yeah, forcing the Allies back pretty quickly. Good job right there. Let's see. Artillery has been destroyed along with the half-track. Good. So at least they got that, but unfortunately, well, yeah, they still need to hold the VPs, and unfortunately the Allies not holding that. They're not really holding that. Nice shots. Vet 5 Panzer 4, by the way. Great work. Great shot with 6-pounder as well, but alas, I think they'll make it A-okay. Another 6-pounder hitting, I'm sorry, M1 hitting the side. And yeah, there goes a lot more artillery and such. GG. Again, no coverage of the artillery and really poor comp. I could say that same for Blue, but at least Blue had, like, Carol Baskins just went crazy on the assault and actually worked with with her horde of Panthers, just you know, chasing down anything the Allies could muster to kill the artillery. So good job there. Mithrin as well, probably the best overall, because while I say Carol Baskin had a good fighting force, and it did get a few more kills, although I love how there's equal on kills for the Axis, I say Mithrin's assault was definitely a lot better with Panzer 4s. So Mithrin did a really good job there. Sorry, his Panzer 4s. Carol Baskins messed me up. Anyway, Intercurs did pretty well. Again, definitely the best allied player, though. 7 got a few more kills. I could definitely see why. Definitely inflicted more casualties on certain players. But again, they still all took major casualties. And yeah, Philip was the weakest one here. Overall playtime, let me see. By God, this is a... Okay, so this is a weaker team right here. But that kind of makes sense. Okay. But yeah, Intercurs did extremely well with the armor support. It's just Philip in 7 just went too much to artillery. And yeah, that cost them the game. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, Joey G240, Anton, Bishara, Ion, PyroShark, Ace, and Jakub Ocwieja. Seriously guys, thank you so much for your amazing support, especially over the past month. Been through a lot of personal hurdles, but you guys make it a little easier knowing that you guys support me. And same thing with the patrons down below. This has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and I'll see all of you next time.